So this is the fifth edition of the Governing Council meeting of the NITI Aayog, and let's talk about the controversy first. Mamata Banerjee last week itself said that NITI Aayog is going or attending a meeting of the NITI Aayog is a fruitless exercise. She feels that this is much about talk on policy, whereas it's nothing as compared to the previous planning commission, where the states could actually look forward to allocation of funds for the various schemes. Having said that, largely all the heads of state or the chief ministers of various states are in attendance, minus Amrinder Singh, who's not been keeping well, and that is why he has sent an emissary. There were three basic points as far as the NITI Aayog meeting is concerned. Number one, water. How to manage the drought-like situation. The Prime Minister, in fact, in his opening comments did speak about water management. He said that there should be, the states should take forward the philosophy of more crop per drop, which was a slogan that was coined in Modi 1.0. He wants to take that forward. He looks for cooperation with the state governments. He talks about the creation of the Jal Shakti Ministry in order to understand the need of preserving water. So that takes care of how he wants to, or the stress they're laying on water management. Apart from that, the stress on farming or the distressed agricultural sector. The Prime Minister in his opening comment spoke about doubling the farmers' income by 2022 and wants the state's cooperation. He also talked about increasing the Kisan Samman Nidhi. And in his opening comment, he also talked about controlling the left-wing extremism, which was the third key point on the agenda, on bolstering the security apparatus in the states that are influenced. And one such state is, of course, Chhattisgarh, with parts of other states also like Andhra Pradesh in the mix, and Telangana. Now, for the aspirations of the state, it will be very, very interesting. See, so far, Mamata Banerjee is the only one who has very openly mentioned her displeasure with NITI Aayog. But then there are others who are in attendance, but they may raise their particular concerns on the platform. And how is the centre going to manage that will be very interesting. For instance, the Andhra Pradesh Chief Minister, it will be interesting to see how the centre is going to respond, the Prime Minister is going to respond when Jagan Mohan Reddy will reiterate the same demand on the basis of which the NDA split and Chandrababu Naidu came out. That is the special category status for Andhra Pradesh. There is a similar demand by the JDU as well for the state of Bihar. So it will be interesting to see that while the Prime Minister looks for cooperation from the states, how will he cooperate when the states demand the same level of cooperation?
Sanketa, I also wanted to understand, in these NITI Aayog meetings, is it only a one-way process where only the central government kind of gives out its programs and policies and asks them to implement? Or are there one-on-one bilaterals of sorts with other chief ministers where they can put in their demands as well and then the centre has to look into it?
So the very purpose of NITI Aayog, NITI in English translates to policy. So any policy formation will require consultation. It will require the states to give inputs. It will require the centre to give inputs to the states for the subjects that fall under the state list. For instance, there are subjects like education, which are part of the concurrent list. Then there are many other subjects like agriculture that are part of the state list. The Prime Minister, when he lays stress on farmer distress, then would urge the states that though this is your subject, but it will be great if you follow this policy. Let me know if you are facing a problem or two. And a similar expectation is there on the part of the state governments as well. The general policy or the general principle that is followed in a NITI Aayog meeting is that the Prime Minister gives his opening comments and then each state chief minister has his or her own speech, which then they read out, and then after that the consultation process begins. It's a long drawn process which is then eventually followed, much like bilateral country to country dialogue literally, where the states will then follow up with the central government and then a policy is made or policy is built. So it's a consultational exercise that has been kick-started in Modi 2.0, the fifth meeting of the NITI Aayog.